Alright, and we are live.
Hello,
Yay!
everyone, and welcome to Unsupervised and Undercaffeinated, where the undercaffeinated, at least, is me. Don't know about everybody else.
I don't think
I'm for sure the
as supervised.
unsupervised.
Yeah, they're the unsupervised at this point. There have been some adult sodas and other similar drinks enjoyed today.
And then there's me with my quart jar of water.
Well, someone's got to drive, right?
Water.
Yeah. DD.
So, who would like to give us a recap?
Not it.
Alright.
Arledo.
Give me
Good luck, 'cause
one moment.
I couldn't remember a damn thing.
I remember, like, almost everything. I just don't remember where the previous session ended and this one began, so I need a moment.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you that either. Not off the top of my head, anyway. For those of you that can't tell, I am a DM that does not take notes.
No. Say it ain't so.
Nope, not a note taken on the DM side.
Okay.
Also, Dryad, I have a chunk of notes for you to fill up when you left last week.
Thank you.
I just got to remember to type them up and send them to you.
Okay. Alright, there we
Look,
go.
Bubba, I made them all take notes. They've all given me notes now.
Mm-hmm. Told you.
Okay. I have a starting point. Thank you for having your notes so easily accessible, Traya. I just pulled up your doc and went looking for it. So
You're lucky. I just updated it like an hour before session.
So, at the beginning of last session, we all had run outside into the middle of the square, hearing explosions and such, and we discovered 3 little seed pod glass creatures of some sort, some creation of the artificer, I guess, who had been selling explosives that he wasn't supposed to be selling. And we had to fight them. And after we did so, I believe it was discovered that Bloodworth, who had to this point been feeble-minded by Alton, had somehow shaken off the feeble mind. At which point, Drea, Tenacity, and Volpez all went up to question him about what the hell he was up to. And Arletto stayed behind in the square, both so that Rowena wasn't alone, and so that he could ask her some questions. The conversation between the party upstairs revealed that Bloodworth was working for the Raven Queen for goals that he avoided specifying, and that he was also a part incubi or something. Not exactly sure on details, but he was connected with the incubi in some way. I'm trying to remember if there was any other important information that came out of that. Oh yeah, Bloodworth has also been so skittish around Temperance because he doesn't like her holy symbol. And after that, after the questioning, Volpez noticed that Bloodworth had a fancy new rapier that he hadn't had before, which Volpez promptly went and took and went back to his room with it. Everyone
Confiscated.
Everybody else went downstairs to go let Arletto know, who Arletto, while that had been happening, had spoken with Rowena about what would happen if Bloodworth died, and had cast Detect Magic to confirm that what she said that she would die if he died seemed to be fairly likely. Sometime after everyone had gone outside, Dryo went upstairs to go check in on Volpez, as he had not shown his face again. And while that was happening, dusk, a much deeper dusk than typically fell in the Feywild, at least in the Spring Court, fell, and a chill air rose, and fog rolled in, coming with it the form of Shiloh, the child we have been trying to locate, who told us, I'm not going to try and remember the entire speech, but basically told us that the Raven Queen knows we're here and that we are not safe even in the Feywild from her. And everybody heard that, including, I believe, Volpez and Temperance from upstairs, and that was where we ended the session.
What?
Apparently, someone is fixing to seduce Chris, and Emmy's reply is, "If you do, can you seduce me too?"
Hey, then. Anyway,
I don't fucking know. Emmy, the secret
anyway,
sixth member of the stream.
I don't claim to understand everything that comes out of her mouth.
She is ADHD and autistic, and I adore her.
Yep.
True.
So,
Was there anything
we
I
pick
missed
up.
in the recap? Just a quick question, because I don't remember.
You missed Bloodworth going to try and talk to Volpez. Wondering about what I had said to him when I took the rapier. And then me pushing him back outside of the room and closing the door in his face, causing Tempe to cackle.
Thank you. I knew there was something with Bloodworth I had forgotten. I just wasn't gonna take too long trying to remember what it was.
So, we pick up with the fog rolling out, the temp coming back up, and Shiloh disappearing. Apparating, that's the word I was looking for. What does everybody do?
Arletto had been going inside before Shiloh started talking again for the second time, I think. When Shiloh started talking again, Arletto would have frozen in the doorway and looked back before. I believe Rowena was following him. Is that right, Torsten?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He would have frozen in the doorway when Shiloh started talking, and then he would have stepped out and shifted around so that he was between Rowena and Shiloh as Shiloh kept talking. And then once Shiloh stops talking, Arletto turns and races up in the inn up the stairs. Full on sprint.
All right. What way are you going?
He is going to his and Volpez's room. Is the door open?
It was Jiraiya had come in. Tempe had come into the room. So you would find Volpez and Tempe at the window still. And Volpez still is guarding that rapier.
Arletto looks visibly panicked as he comes in, and he is grabbing his bag, of which that is the only thing he has in the room because he doesn't like spreading out, and he's gonna look up and say, "Did you both catch all that?"
Lopez would nod.
Tempe also nods.
I don't. How likely do you think it is that she will try and attack us? He is asking specifically Volpez.
Lopez looks back out the window, sighs, and looks back to Arletto. More than likely.
Fuck. Arletto barely whispers and looks back. Do you have any idea? Do you? And then he shakes his head, not able to properly get out the words he was trying to get out. Do you know any way out of the Feywild now that we're here? I assume not.
Lopez just kind of raises the singular eyebrow you can see, like, why are you asking me this?
Arletto nods and then turns and carries his bag back outside the room, trying to figure out what the hell to do. And I am actually going to make a roll for Arletto. That would be... yeah. Okay. Arletto is going to go back downstairs and check on Rowena and make sure that she is inside and not just standing in the doorway, in shock or something.
All right, what's Rowena doing then?
At this point, when Arletto does come down to make sure Rowena is not standing in the doorway, she has moved inside, though she is still looking out one of the tavern windows just to see what's going on. And she does have her sword and shield drawn in preparation, just in case a fight may commence.
Arletto is going to look out the window with her and see what the people out in the square are doing. Which
is literally just Bloodworth and Tenacity.
is Alton out there as well?
He would have still been inside, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's everyone else doing?
Tenacity is going to go up, go inside, and then go up the stairs. He is he's going to go into the room. Well, no, he's going to search for Lopez and Temperance.
Easy enough to find us.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to go into the room and say, "What? I presume, Lopez, that you heard all of that. What do you have a read on him?"
Lopez would shake his head no.
Neither do I. And that's what scares me.
The only thing I can say about him is that he's fallen into her trap. Her claws have sunk deep into that child. I
Mm.
do not know what has become of the goddess I grew up. Something has changed.
And then he's gonna look at well, he's first gonna say, I would like to have a conversation with you later, Lupus. And then he's going to look at Temperance and say, I want to have a conversation with you as well later.
She's gonna nod.
Bob Hazel nod, like, okay.
And he'll go into his room. For the life of me, I can't remember who was bunking in Tenacity's room.
Bloodworth.
Bloodworth? Okay, cool. He's gonna go into his and Bloodworth's room.
Technically, Tempe and Tenacity were bunking. Rowena only slept with me when he was
That's right.
feeble-minded.
That's right.
Yeah. You two kind of like switched rooms essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you go into y'all's room and you see bed still all messed up. The raven feathers are still there. Atmosphere is pretty much the same as when you left.
God, this room smells nasty. And he's just gonna go into his bed and like completely cover his face so he can try and obfuscate the smell as much as possible.
um give me a give me a con save. Remind you, you're still exhausted.
Yeah. Is that for saves or is that just for ability checks?
I believe that's just for checks, 1 level.
Yeah, first level's ability checks.
Okay.
My bad.
No, you're good. Con save. Con save. Okay. What about an 11? How does that do?
So you lay down, cover your head, trying to trying to filter out the smell of Bloodworth, nighttime, and feeble-minded emissions. And it works for a little bit, but they start getting through, and your stomach starts turning.
Um, in each of the rooms, kind of in dissipating intensity, you would hear Tenacity gagging. Just like
But eventually, the smell. Either you get used to the smell, or the smell winds up fading out and wafting out, and I'm guessing you're trying to go to sleep for a little while.
Mm, what time of day is it?
It was nighttime. It was like turning nighttime.
Turning nighttime.
Yeah, it was right on the cusp of twilight.
After he gets used to the smell and isn't viscerally gagging, he will immediately conk out.
All right. MP and Vulpus, what are you guys doing?
At this point, Vulpes has like changed back from his form of dread, but he hasn't pulled back up his mask or his hood yet, and is just kind of sitting on his bed. He seems almost. It's like his walls are going back up. The walls that had started to come down a little bit are starting to go right back up.
All right. What's running through his mind as that's happening?
The Raven Queen. He grew up with stories of her. He grew up with his mother being a priestess of her, telling him the stories of her and her halls of memories. How when he died, he would be able to go to those halls of memories. He knows that his mother and father's souls are there, and he wonders what has become of them with the goddess having so changed from what he had known. I don't like that evil grin. Knock that shit off your face!
No, you gave me an idea. Thank you.
Oh, well, fuck
Oh
me.
no!
Anyways.
My job.
Oh no!
Hey, now, Torsten. I caught that.
Down boy. Anyways. So he's just kind of like sitting there, and he looks up at Temperance. And just stares at her for a moment. He doesn't really say anything as he just kind of stands up, bring up one hand that kind of moves with the magic of Druidcraft in it, creating more flowers. But then they all turn into just one single flower. They just turn into one singular forget-me-not that he just places in her hair.
Thank you for not saying Rose.
He places it in her hair and just mutters something under his breath that is so quiet, she almost doesn't catch it. I am not worthy of you. As he just takes the rapier and his things and walks out of the room. Yes.
When he leaves, Temperance is just gonna say to herself, I don't know if that means I'm allowed to talk now again. I'm going to bed. And she's just gonna go to her room to go to sleep.
Beautiful.
And that leaves us with Bloodworth. You just had the door slammed in your face. You remind me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You walked back outside, or started walking downstairs at least.
I was back outside when all this started.
What are you doing? What is Bloodworth doing? What's running through his head?
And Bloodworth is just standing out there in the square, staring up into the sky at this point, pondering the words that Volpez had uttered to him, that he is just a pawn. Volpez did say pawn, right?
He
cool.
had told you that you are a tool.
A tool. Okay. Yeah, so he's pondering those words that Volpez had uttered to him and just stewing in those thoughts of what he meant by that.
Right. Um, just chilling out there by the fountain, going for a little walkie walk.
Just chilling out by the fountain, looking almost like he's a statue because he's not moving. He's just there. The only indication that shows that he is alive is his facial expressions keep changing as he keeps trying to wonder what Volpez had meant and try to decipher everything he's been through and how he would be a tool rather than as he presumed to be of great importance to the Raven Queen.
You'll see. Well, I thought I was going to sneeze. You'll see Alton walk up to you and kind of clamber up onto the edge of the fountain and sit next to you. And say, now I can't say I know exactly what's going through your head. But the gods, what's the word I'm looking for? They can be manipulative and make you feel like you are worth more to them than you actually are. I When I showed up and saw everything that was going on, I kind of picked up on there being something off about you, which is why. And I do apologize. I just need to get to the root of it real quick and make sure everyone was going to be safe, myself included. Which is why I cast that feeble mind on you. It didn't. I didn't intend for everything to go down the way it did. I tend to kind of just act and then clean up the mess later. But I see you're going through it right now. Care to share?
Well, Bloodworth finally looks down at Arletto
Alton.
Alton, sorry, with a mildly irritated look before saying, "Hmm, I thought that was meant for great purposes. I meant no harm to
these people. They're just how to put it? We're pawns in a scheme for me to become powerful, as promised.
Power doesn't always look like what we think it does. That is something my family has learned over the generations. You see him kind of absent-mindedly patting and halfway stroking his satchel. You could still be down for greatness, just not the way that you were thinking that she told you would be. That is purely up to you. I would suggest we get some rest. We sleep on it. You sit down with these guys and have a heart to heart with them. Whether that's one on one or everyone as a group. All right.
I don't know about heart to heart, but a
I mean,
conversation.
like, just be open with them. Because I know you got a lot of things bouncing around in that noggin of yours right now.
I should probably get some sleep. And then
Well,
Bloodworth stands after he says that and just walks back in to the inn and up to his room.
as you stand, he says, if you want to avoid the awkwardness and everything tonight, I can pay for a room for you on your own.
That would be appreciated.
Consider it done. He hops down and scurries off into the tavern to talk to the barkeep, whose name I just completely blanked on.
Volpez actually was coming down and out and would have exited the tavern to go over to the fountain, where he's set down his things and has sat down outside. And he's still holding the rapier. He's sitting on the ground near the fountain. He just leans back. He's got his mask back up. He's got his hood down, and he's just got a hold of the rapier, hold of his bag, and is just closed his eyes right out there.
Would Bloodworth notice?
Bloodworth would notice, but the only thing he would say to Volpez is, that belongs to me. And not even try to take it, but instead turns around, continues inside for the time being.
Volpez says nothing.
Alton, oh, I have a message. Probably from one of my note takers. Yes, it was.
I
Thank
was
you.
trying to quietly give you the name, okay?
Thank you. He goes in. Alton goes in and talks to. Wow, I'm stuck in accent. That's how we're doing this. All right. Alton goes in and talks to Petalina, and it's Bloodworth his own room and goes up off to bed. I'm assuming Volpez eventually comes into bed, get some
Nope.
rest. Up all night?
No, he actually sleeps out there.
Sleeps out there.
Yeah, no, Volpez has hit a point of limit for himself of I cannot take another comfy bed or night in a tavern right now. I need to be out in the open. Comfort doesn't feel right now.
Gotcha. All right. Well, eventually, everyone turns in, gets some sleep, and next morning rolls around. Who is up first? Who would wake up first?
Tenacity.
Arletto would
All right.
also be awake very, very early.
All right. What do you guys do in these wee hours of the morning?
Arleto, you're up. Good thing, because I have a conversation that I want to have with you.
Arletto had come downstairs probably a few minutes after Tenacity. He looks tired. Probably more tired than you've ever seen him, despite having just slept. He does not seem to have slept well. He looks up at you and shakes himself a little bit and says, what is it you want to talk about?
Well, first, your first round of coffee is on me because you look like you could use at least 2 more winters of sleep.
That would be very appreciated. Last night was not
Like,
kind to me.
I agree. It would be amazing if I could sleep in like bear, but unfortunately I cannot. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit.
Of course. What is it you wish to ask me?
What? I've been struggling with this idea with my Lady of the Moon. She originally charged me with protecting the sea, protecting everything that involves the sea.
I was going to say
Just recently, that has changed. And I don't know what it means for me. And I wanted to know,
you can ask him, Chris. You know that, right?
what does it mean to you to have a devotion, a faith in someone that you barely talk to?
Uh, Arletto chuckles softly, and he tilts his head a bit as he's taking a bite to eat, and sighs a bit and says, that's a very interesting question to ask me, especially right now. Well, I will tell you some. I don't really know, but I will tell you what I have experienced. I mentioned a few days ago when you first got your new armor and your new work with your Lady of the Moon, that I was raised to worship the Raven Queen. That was something my parents taught me, and that is something that I did for my childhood, as it were. I have not done so for a great many years, but until, well, until recently, I had always kind of just operated with the confidence that if I died, I would be taken by her, and that would be a good fate for me. But then your encounter with her a few days ago confused me for a time, and what happened last night confused me even more. So I don't really know on that front, but it was not with a god per se, but I have had a relation with someone who I never really spoke to, never met in person, and I still don't really know what to think. You need to be sure that you know what it is you're supposed to do. My experience has been that they will take advantage of your naivety if you are such, but that may have just been my own experience and not something your Lady of the Moon would do. I cannot really say. I'm not a particularly religious man, as such things go.
I don't think she would, as you so put it, manipulate me into doing her bidding while putting me in harm's way. And I say that term loosely, as my life has always been in constant danger following these oaths. But when I first received my original oath, I went to a church, a temple, on one of the islands that was en route for this pirate company that I was working for. And I took a little bit of a reprieve so that I could speak to them and get to know what this meant for me. But back then, they handed me a book, and I was not a reader. That was my sister. I remember so many times when I would come back home from one of my adventures, and instead of talking to her about my adventures first, I would hear about the many adventures that she would have in her books. And I guess I chose not to read because I wanted to hear her be excited about these different things. But when I was given this book, I told them that I did not, I was ignorant enough not to know the words that were being described in these scriptures, and so they read them to me. I still don't understand them fully, but at least the ones that I did, I was able to learn and grasp them because it was something that I was able to practice. All of that to say, I don't know what holds my new path. She said that I am to guard the most sacred and holy of things when we all pass, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is supposed to look like for me. And from what I have gathered, from what I remember during my time at the temple, everyone interprets their oath very differently from the next person. It is a fickle thing. Being a man of faith, no two paths walk the same.
Mm. You say that she has tasked you with guarding the last rites of those who have passed, or something like that, I believe it was.
The way that I interpreted it, it is I am supposed to guard the last rites that came before, and the last rites that are, and the last rites that are to come. Whether that is what she actually meant is yet to be seen. I have not had a conversation with her, but that is how I interpreted it.
You can see on Arletto's face as he's trying to figure out if there's anything he can say that will help you, and if there's anything he can ask that might give you an answer you have not considered before. He seems almost a little bit nervous at how you're describing it, and that everything's open for interpretation, and that you don't know what she actually meant when she tasked you with it, but he is trying to put that aside, and after about a minute of eating in silence, he finally says, so you do not know what exactly she meant. You just hope that you are doing what it is that she wanted you to do. But do you know? Obviously, you are a paladin, and paladins do not have the luxury of staying out of danger. They are not people who they are men of action, from my understanding. But do you know if she is the type of goddess who will ask you to hurt those who you care about, if it is within the purview of what you have said you will do for her? If she is a goddess who I know nothing of your moon goddess. I am just asking,
Mm.
is she the type of goddess who will not care about what you as a person want, just what you have said you will do for her?
My relationship with her has been a push and pull, almost just like with the moon and the ocean, how it pulls on the water to create a tide and to create waves. There is a push and pull between her and I. Sometimes it is things that she wants me to do, sometimes it is things that I feel like I need to do. It is never. The unfortunate part is that there is no rule book. There is no clear-cut way of doing things.
I see. I'm sorry, I feel I've not been much help. I do not have much experience in these matters, and most of my experience is not particularly favorable, I suppose I would say.
No. You've been more help than what you know.
And I'm glad I was able to provide you with something, even if I do not know what it was myself.
And he'll get up from the table, he'll clasp you on the shoulder and say, "You are a very smart man. But also remember that you are very wise too, even when you don't see it." And he'll walk out the tavern.
He mutters, probably after Tenacity had walked out of range, but it's up to you. He mutters something along the lines of, well, both of those are new to me, but I suppose if he says so. And he will just go
All
back
right.
to eating.
Who would be the next one or ones awake?
Lopez.
Bloodworth.
All right. Both of you guys wake up in your respective spots. Bloodworth back in your bed. And Volpez, you are outside.
Volpez remains outside. He is simply staying where he is right now. He is awake but unmoving.
After Bloodworth wakes, he looks out his window to see Volpez still sitting out at the fountain, and then makes his way out there to Volpez. Not in any angry or rushed fashion, just a steady pace. And then once he reaches Volpez, he says, "You've got something that belongs to me. I want it back."
Volpez's grip tightens on the rapier before he sets his pack to the side, stands up to his full height, stretching, is still holding the rapier. Like, he has not let go of it. As he looks down at you.
Bloodworth feels like he's trying to do an intimidation tactic on him because he knows that Bloodworth hates his height.
He's not. He's just fucking exhausted. This is him not fully awake. It's like, I have to deal with this now. I'm not awake yet, you bitch. So he's just, the one eye is kind of bleary. As he just slowly blinks at you.
We can see that you're still tired. Though I do want to talk to you. What will it take for you to wake up so we can talk?
Just speak. Get your words over with.
You called me a tool. What was that about?
Is what you are. A tool.
I am more than just a tool.
You're not. Not to her. To a god. She promised you power. She promised you greatness. She gave you a fancy stick. Granted, you need it, given you broke your last one with your greed. 1 second.
While that conversation is happening, Arletto would have come outside, seen them, and stepped off to the side, letting them have their conversation, but trying to get out into the open air for a bit.
Volpez would be. He just stands there with the rapier. He kind of examines it a bit. I grew up with stories of her. My mother, her most devoted priestess in our village. Her high priestess. She told me stories of the Raven Queen. She told me stories of the gods. And it doesn't matter what god it is. There is one truth that is always the same. If you're not their paladin, if you're not their cleric, you're a tool to be used, a pawn in a war you don't know anything about. Clerics and paladins are held in high regard to God. Paladins are their soldiers, their warriors, given and gifted power. Clerics, their most noble of servants. Power to heal, to bring back the dead. But what are you? Is she your patron? Are you a warlock? Or do you have a different patron?
She's not my patron.
Then you are nothing to her. You are a tool to be used, to be given gifts so that you stay loyal to her for as long as she needs you, only to be discarded when you're no longer useful. Or if you fail her, to be killed. No matter how kind or just any god is, no matter what we want to believe of them, gods are fickle things, and they don't truly treasure any. If they do, they actually give them power. What power has she given you? What has she actually done for you beyond giving you promises? What has she done?
She is at this point, as he's trying to articulate words, you see a quivering in his lip and twitch in his eye. She has called me her general.
A fancy title. Meaningless. Titles, names, meaningless. There's no power behind a title. There's power in knowing a name, but there's no power in a title. None unless it actually means something. Where are you going to wield that title of General of the Raven Queen when you have no army? She has not given you the power you think she will. She has only promised it to you and given you a title and a sword to placate, to keep you loyal, to keep you believing in her promises. Now, in contrast to that, think for a moment. What have we given you?
I was given a dagger when I broke my rapier.
Exactly. Because you needed to be able to defend yourself and work with us. An ability to live another day. We have given you room and board with us, companionship of traveling varieties, food that you have not had to provide for yourself, someone to talk to when needed. I may be distant. I may be as I am. But even I can see that these are good people that care, and that if you open up to them, they'll care about you. And even if you don't open up to them, somehow they still do, because that's just what they are. We are not like them, Bloodworth. I a shadow and you a wraith. In comparison to their light, we are the dark. We stand at the back so that they can shine in the front. We protect them from the things that they would not be willing or able to do, because we've already embraced that darkness within ourselves. We know who and what we are. A demon. And I don't even know what I am anymore. But I can say this. I find myself wanting to trust them, wanting to be their friend. And that is not a feeling I have had in a long time. The living have always persecuted me, harmed me, have tried to kill me. Those that walk in the shadows have always been kind, welcoming, and open. This is the first time in a long I've been able to maybe call someone friend. He hands you the rapier. I would like to be able to call you a friend.
After being handed the rapier, because of the mental turmoil he's going through and the irritation he's building up, he drops the drow form that he has, showing his true incubus form, and says, Friends don't win wars. Power does. And then just turns away, walks off.
He will actually call after you. Power does not win wars. Power gets you killed. Friends win wars, for who else will stand beside you and actually watch your back rather than stab it?
He freezes for a
If
moment.
you want to win a war, you need allies. If you have no allies, then all you have is enemy. And all you will know is your throat being slit, your blood pouring down your own chest, and the eyes of someone you thought you could count on, smiling down at you as though you were nothing. And that is all you will get in following whoever this goddess is calling herself the Raven Queen. She's not the goddess I know. And I doubt she is the same that I have grown up with. I don't know who is tricking you, but I don't think she's my Raven Queen. And Volpez will grab his things, and he actually leaves town. He actually just fucking leaves. He is upset. He needs actual time to process everything he's going through.
And Bloodworth is frozen in his steps from Volpez saying those last words, staring down at the rapier he got from the Raven Queen.
Muted. That brings us to our last two to wake up. And I'm assuming Rowena is awake before Tempe. Tempe is just full on a just.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Rowena is awake and sitting on the edge of the bed. And she can feel that there's a difference because of the connection. She doesn't know what it is yet that the difference is, but she's in a sense fearful for what might happen.
All right. Is she just letting Tempe be right now?
Yep, she doesn't want to disturb anybody right now. So she's just letting Tempe be in that deep sleep. Just waiting.
Okay. Give me 30 seconds real quick. Bring up that I had and I don't remember where I filed it away. Because it was something I had like 3 months ago. And I've been waiting for it.
Moth. I have a quick question.
Hello?
Go for it.
How loud was what Volpez called out to Bloodworth? Would it have been loud enough that any other people in the square could hear it, or
No, it still would have been quiet enough that only like Bloodworth and maybe someone who's like really close by would have been able to hear it.
okay?
Yet Volpez is not processing this well at all.
Yep.
He's having some religious trauma essentially.
Valid. I was just
And because
go ahead.
and because of the essential crisis and turmoil that Volpez was laying upon Bloodworth completely shed the drow disguise. So full wings, horns, dark, devilish-looking skin.
Noted. I was just asking because if Arletto had heard that, he probably would have gone over to talk to Bloodworth, but he was keeping his distance and letting them have their conversation in quiet, so it might still.
I mean, if you're outside, you probably saw
Yeah.
this all. Yeah, you saw it all happen, and you just see Volpez walking off while Bloodworth is frozen in place.
Alright, Arletto is going to approach Bloodworth after Volpez walks off, leaving town, making a note of which general direction Volpez is walking.
He's heading back towards the first part of town that we originally came from, that original direction.
Oh, cool. So he's gonna walk over to Bloodworth and say, that conversation seems to have gone well.
Depends on what you believe as well.
I take it you did not entirely like what he had to say, nor he what you had to say?
No. It was hard to hear. I feel lost.
Lost and like you don't know where to even begin looking for a path forward?
I have no idea where to start. I feel as if I have never been in control.
Control and power don't always go hand in hand. Especially when promises of power come without their price tag attached. You are an incubi, he said, looking him up and down. And yet you serve the Raven Queen. Has all your life just been a quest for power, trying to gain more and more of it?
I've been powerless as a child, but as I grew older, I was taught power was everything. So I went seeking it, looking for ways to become more powerful. But I feel as if I may have been looking in the wrong ways.
I know the feeling. I came across power, great power, when I was a child, really. But it came with a price tag that I did not know I would have to pay and that I was not ready to pay, and a lack of control that I only escaped from a year ago. The power I have now, he said, pulling up, drawing some of the purple magic to his hand and then letting it go. The power I have now is nothing compared to what I used to wield, but it is somehow more real than what I had before. Somehow more true power rather than a facade of being a tool or a pawn in someone else's game.
So you're saying true power comes from within and not others?
By Jove, I think he's got it.
That man does have a brain cell. He's got two to rub together somewhere.
You just had to find the right person to explain it to him.
They
Right?
just had to rub it out, to burn it out, you know.
No. It was
They had
literally
to rub it out.
Volpez and Arletto just like working together. Clear.
Double
Oh
team?
look, the brain cell's working.
Mm-hmm. It was a double team rub out.
In a manner of speaking, yes, true power comes not from the gods who would bestow you power only to get what they want and then toss you to the curb when they no longer need you. It comes from the strength of your own body and control over what you can do, and the ability to help those who you want to help rather than who you need to help or who you need to kill, or the god or the devil who tells you what to do.
Thank you. This has been eye-opening for me.
I'm glad you were able to take something away from it. And he's gonna go ahead.
Bloodworth finally starts moving again. He walks back into the tavern, still incubus form.
Arletto nods to him and goes and sits on the fountain again, looking out towards the direction where Volpez had gone. Slightly concerned, but not going to worry about it too much right now, assuming Volpez can handle himself.
All right. Oh, Volpez, as you are walking away, contemplating all this,
No.
you are suddenly hit with a memory you didn't know you had. You were small then, still unformed, your soul flickering faintly like a candle in the dark. You trembled when her shadow approached, expecting the usual weight of dread. But this time when she appeared, she was whole. No fractured faces, no shifting forms. She came as a cloaked figure, her features pale and still, her eyes deep as storm clouds. She knelt. For the first time, she lowered herself to meet you. Her hand, colder than ice, yet strangely steady, brushed your cheek. Instead of tethering, she soothed. Instead of claiming, she steadied. Her voice carved itself into you, not in command, but in something softer. Little one, you should have scattered into the void. There is no place for what you are, and yet here you remain. And I will copy and paste all of this to you
Thank you.
because it's a bit of a long one. The words should have been a judgment. Instead, they carried wonder. She guided you to rise and walk with her, her long cloak trailing like nightfall across the pale ground. Together, you wandered the silent groves of her dominion. She let you approach her ravens, each bird carrying fragments of lost memory. You cupped one trembling creature in your hands, and for once the memory it carried did not sear you. It whispered a lullaby, a farewell between mother and child. You remember looking up at her in surprise, and she only inclined her head, allowing you to keep it. At her throne, vast obsidian and feathered with shadows, she let you sit at her side, small and uncertain. You asked her endless questions with a child's hunger. Why do souls fade? Why do you gather them? Do they know you love them? And for the first time she answered. Her voice did not carry thunder or decree, but patience. Because endings are not to be feared, they are to be carried. Someone must gather what would otherwise be lost. He tried to mimic the way her ravens tilted their heads, exaggerating the movement until it was clumsy and ridiculous. She watched it in silence at first. Then, from deep within her stillness, a brittle sound emerged. A laugh. Short, rare, but real. The sound cracked the silence of her realm in a way you never heard again. That laugh stayed with you longer than her lessons. Finally, she looked at you with something unspoken in her eyes. Not command, not hunger. Something perilously close to love. You remind me that even in endings, there is something worth keeping. For a fleeting time, you were not her servant, not her vessel, not her bound soul. You were her child. The hollow of of her wings was shelter, and she, cold, terrible, eternal, saw you not as a tool, not as a pawn, not as a soul to be manipulated, but as her son. As this memory fades, what does Volpez do with this information?
He falls to his knees weeping. It has been years since he cried. The last time he cried was the night his mother died. For over 100 years, he has not shed a tear. And yet here he finds himself weeping, questioning what became of this goddess that he had known. He knew her through his mother, through her teachings, through that understanding as a goddess. He met her once, only once, in the forest that became more home to him than any place he has been before or since. And yet here now is a memory of what gave him such unshaking trust in her, unwavering faith in her until these last few days. And slowly a determination builds. Something has happened to her. Something broke her. Something caused her to shatter. His determination now becomes, I need to fix this. I need to save her from whatever has happened. How do I do that? How do I, a simple Shadarkai who no longer knows truly where he has come from, what affects his form, or why the devils in his head argue? What he can do. And simply finds himself falling into these flowers, laying on his back and staring up at the sky. Sending a silent prayer to her. Not to the her that is now, not to the her that stabbed tenacity, not to the her that stole Shiloh and has twisted him so, not to the her that is trying to convince Bloodworth to be a tool for her, nothing more than a weapon to be used, but to the her that he knew, the her that he believes may still be there. And only asks one thing. How do I save you, Mother?
So, as you're laying there, crying for the first time in 100 years, asking these questions, remembering the Raven Queen from before, not even realizing, with this new information, not even realizing you knew her before all this, before what you thought was the beginning of your life. A single raven feather falls seemingly out of nowhere. And then behind it, a singular flower floats down from the sky, the same that your mom would use when you were a child. And it lands directly on your heart, directly over your heart. And that is where we're going to take a break.
We are back.
All right, and welcome back.
He-
So we are going to pick up with Temperance, who is passed the fuck out in her bed, drooling, big old drool spot on the pillow, hair stuck to the drool. You are currently in a dream, and the fog is rolling in before you can realize where you are and what's going on. And it is the same color as your birthmarks. You stand in your childhood home, though the walls seem too tall and stretch upward into blackness, disappearing into nothing. The smell of ash and iron clings to you. The floorboards groan with every step, as if the house itself mourns. A whisper comes from nowhere and everywhere at once. Do you remember? The windows flash with pale light. Your mother's screams ripple across the glass, bending it outward, distorting the world beyond. You move to the door, but this time the shoulder won't break it. It splinters only partway, pulsing with something wet and alive. From the crack in the door seeps purple smoke, coiling into clawed hands that scratch and scrape, nails trailing along the walls until sparks fly. With each scrape, laughter echoes inside your head, overlapping, layered like a chorus of mockery that makes your stomach twist. When you turn, you find yourself in the next room, though you don't remember moving. Your mother is there, skin a patchwork of ribbons, but instead of eyes, she has gaping holes that spill fog. Her father kneels beside her, jaw stretched impossibly wide as he drowns on nothing. You want to scream, but when your mouth opens, no sound escapes. The silence is suffocating. The fog closes in tighter, suffusing the room until only your own body is visible. Then light. A single figure stands in the void. The boy, luminous and serene, his presence scattering the smoke. He reaches out not to lift you, but to place his hand upon your chest, steadying the frantic beat of your heart. Laughter stops. The screams vanish. And only his voice lingers. You saw what they could not. Now you serve what they cannot understand. Do not fear the dark, only balance it. You start awake with the sensation of smoke coiling in your lungs. But when you exhale, nothing comes out. What do you do?
No. And then she's just gonna look around the room.
You are currently in the room alone.
She's gonna exhale. Very glad that no one witnessed that. And I think she's just gonna say like a silent prayer because she doesn't want to think about it. She doesn't want to remember the things that she saw.
What is the prayer? And I'm assuming it's to Ambrose.
think it's just like a simple, like, calming prayer, like something that you would recite to someone in distress.
All right. You feel your heartbeat slow as you recite this prayer. Get your wits about you a little bit better, and you see it's morning, and you are all alone in your room.
Gonna pull Pearl close and just kind of give her scritches. And she's gonna eat one of the puff pastries in her bag. Just trying to like calm herself down before she goes where anyone will see her.
All right. What is everyone else doing at this point? I know Volpez.
Tenacity.
I know Volpez. You're laying down having an existential cry.
Oh yeah, he's like clutching the flower and is it is, unless you guys come to get him, he's probably just gonna stay there.
Tenacity is going to be walking up the stairs in the tavern to the rooms, and he's going to go to the one that he knows that Temperance and Rowena are in. He's going to open the door and say, "Sister, are you awake?
Yes?
Can I come in?
I guess.
Do you want me to come in?"
You can.
He'll open the door and say, Can you tell me about your relationship with who you worship? I'm trying to understand my own.
What about it? Is there something specific you're trying to understand?
I was talking to Arletto downstairs, and I was telling him how when I was first told by the Moonweaver that I needed to guard everything that pertained to the sea, that I didn't know what that meant at first. And when I went to that temple, I learned what that meant for me. In this place, I don't know where the nearest temple is. I can't look it up on the map. I haven't bothered to try and look for a map, but I can't look for one on the map. And you know that my reading is very lackluster, partly by choice, but also because books were never something that I wanted to get into, and especially later when I would leave and I would come back home. I didn't want to read because I wanted to hear you read. I don't know I don't know what she wants from me.
You don't need a temple. I don't use a temple. Well, I kind of make my own temples. That's not important. But I just talk to him. I just find a quiet spot and I surround myself with stuff that reminds me of him and I just talk to him. Sometimes he answers, sometimes not. He's very busy, you know. But he always hears. Maybe she always hears.
Sometimes I need more than just knowing that she can hear me. Sometimes I need her. Sometimes I need her input, even if it doesn't make sense at the time.
I think if it's something you really need her input for, she'll come to you. She'll hear you and she'll answer. Some things we have to figure out on our own. But the Endless Song has always answered me if I needed an answer.
Do you have one of your favorite books on hand?
I didn't really bring a lot of them. And she's gonna kind of like dig through her bag. I mostly just have what's in my journal. Books are very heavy to carry.
That is true. I was hoping that you had one because sometimes when I hear the Moonweaver's voice, I hear her voice. But the other times when she answers, sometimes I hear sort of your voice. It's a little unnerving it was a little unnerving at first, but it's brought me comfort, and I was hoping by hearing your voice I might be able to reach out.
Yeah. Just try. Also, how late in the day is it? Because I feel like maybe we all need to figure out what we're going to be doing.
Oh, for sure. And I'm gonna look outside to see. Ah, it's it's fairly early in the morning. Like we probably should have been traveling for the last 2 hours, but I think we all needed the rest.
It was a long day.
Oh, you have no idea, sister. It was brutal not sleeping at all yesterday. I fell asleep. Oh, and ew is all I have to say about the room that I'm currently sleeping in.
I don't want to know. But we should find the
I'm,
others.
we should.
And if
I'm
you
not going
want,
to tell.
if you ever want to talk to her, I can always help you draw something to make you think of her.
I'll do you one better. Would you mind being there when I pray?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand him a puff pastry.
Ooh. Is this lilac and raspberry?
It's got the berry flavor, and it's got candied violets on it. Quite tasty.
I guess that'll do. He'll just palm the entire thing in his mouth.
Just house it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on, sister. I have to go get my trident real quick. I don't want to forget it.
That's okay. It gives me time to get my stuff, and then we can go downstairs and find everyone else.
Okay. I short conversation now was good, but I do want to talk to you later if you're up for it.
You always want to talk.
Yeah. We don't talk that much anymore.
We have so much going on. Go get your stuff.
You don't always have to make things so weird. And he'll just walk out and grab his stuff.
I make things weird. You have dicks on your trident. Shut the door.
He got you there. She's got you there. Like, you can't deny that. She's got you there.
They're perfectly normal.
Well, fuck they are.
Then she's gonna gather up her stuff and head downstairs to try and
Yeah.
find everybody else.
Yeah, same with Tenacity. He'll be a couple steps behind Temperance.
I will note when you guys do make your way downstairs, you do see Bloodworth in his incubus form sitting at the bar. Granted, there's tension around because he's in a demonic form. Yeah. Sitting at the bar, just drinking.
I think because Temperance knows what it feels like to be looked at like you're different and like people don't want to approach you. She's just gonna sit down next to him quietly and not say anything to him, but just sit next to him.
He shoots her a side eye before downing the rest of the drink he's got. And then saying, should we get going?
Yeah, if people know where we're going. I'm not great with directions.
I'm not in the right headspace to lead.
Hey, Bloodworth. I feel like I owe you a drink with how much shit I gave you yesterday. Do you want some coffee? Because we're going to need you alert if we get into trouble.
Save the drink for later. I am fine the way I am.
In more ways than one. And he'll just walk
Oh.
out of the tavern.
Oh,
And we're back to this.
Penworth lives.
Yeah, Temperance fully makes a face like, okay then.
You're welcome, Torsten.
Make it gay.
Make it gay, make it gay, make it gay.
I
That's
truly
a
thought
popular-
Tenworth was dead, but
Nope,
No, it'll never
No.
No,
die.
so did
it lives.
I thought Tenworth was dead.
Nope.
Nope.
The ship survives.
I'm here for it.
It might be a little battered. Might need a new sail and main staff, but all right. What about Rowena and Arletto?
Rowena's sitting at the fountain. She's out there just calm in a way that she hasn't been calm in however many years now. A long time.
Arletto is also still sitting out at the fountain, sitting towards the direction that Fulpez had gone. And he's got something in his hands that none of you have seen before. It looks like almost kind of a necklace or something that he's running his fingers along, staring at it, and then he seems a lot more. In contrast to Rowena's calm, he seems a lot more troubled than he typically is.
All right. Well, Temperance, Tenacity, and Bloodworth. You guys gather your stuff, step out, and you see Rowena and Arletto sitting on almost opposite sides of the fountain. But you have not seen Alton or Volpez yet.
Arletto, where's the short one?
Upon hearing his name, Arletto kind of breaks out of the reverie and quietly covers the thing in his hands and looking up, saying, I don't know where Alton is. I know where Volpez is. And he gestures his head in the direction he's facing. But I haven't seen Alton today, I don't believe.
Okay.
Sorry, I gave Bubba a quick DM brain assignment. um, guys head towards Volpez at least.
Arletto would, upon seeing everyone coming out and getting ready to go, stand up and glance over towards where Angela's shop had been, wondering if everything looks normal or if Alton's would likely be over there. But after a few seconds says, we should find Volpez. And if no one says anything, he's just gonna start walking in the direction Volpez is. Well, Volpez had gone.
All right.
Temperance will follow.
Same with
Thank you.
Bloodworth and Rowena.
Temperance will make sure she's standing between Bloodworth and Rowena.
All right. So Volpez, how far out would you say you've gone?
I went all the way back to the fucking bridge. I'm laying in that flower field.
Gotcha. What were you gonna say, Bubba?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think seeing that Volpez isn't there, kind of where the congregating group is, Tenacity would probably try and look for Volpez.
All right. So y'all start walking the way you guys originally came into town, and eventually see Volpez just laying on his back in the field of flowers next to the bridge.
He is on his back, arm over his eyes, and he is clutching a strange white flower. It's not quite a lily, but it's similar enough though its petals are more star-shaped. And it seems to have this strange silvery hue to it. Almost a shimmer that is just there. And he's clutching it tightly, like it is a lifeline for him right now.
Arletto is going to wordlessly raise his hand to signal the rest of the group to stop, and then he is going to make his way up to about 30 feet away from Volpez and call out softly, Volpez, are you alright?
Volpez doesn't answer. Charmer, however, who is laying with him, kind of perks up her head, blinks slowly, looks back to Volpez, and then just back to all of you and kind of like twitches her tail in like a come hither motion.
Arletto is going to signal the rest of the group to move forward with that, trusting that Charmer knows what she's talking about, and is going to move up closer to Volpez and look down at him, trying to make sure that he's not injured or anything.
All you see are tear tracks.
Volpez, we need to try and get moving if we can. Are you in a state to travel?
He wipes his face, wordlessly pulling his hood a bit further down, as though trying to hide. As he sits up, Charmer jumping up onto his shoulders, draping over him as she usually does. He places the flower in his pack delicately, almost taking out a piece of fabric to wrap it as though to protect it as he sets it in there. Like it is the most precious thing he has ever held. He throws his pack over his shoulder, standing, and doesn't really even look at you all. He just sort of silently nods, almost more quiet than he has ever been before.
Arletto nods to him and then looks back at the rest of the group and says, I suppose it's a little bit late to asking this question, but now that we're all here, does anyone know where the fuck we should be going?
About that time, you see Alton crossing over the bridge from like where you guys came from originally.
From the Autumn Court area.
Yeah. He sees you guys, shoves something in his pocket real quick. Well, that was an interesting evening. I need to run by Angela's real quick if y'all want to tag along. She might be able to help point you in the right direction. Well, that's in the right direction, I should say at this point. I think I'm stuck with y'all for a little bit.
That's a lot better than my idea, which was to just pick a direction and go.
Well, that was partly my idea too, but I was also gonna ask you, Temperance, if you think there might be a portal to our island from here.
I mean, there's one to the Feywild, but I never really learned where it goes to. So I don't know if it's near here.
No, neither here, because the many times that my group would try, it was heavily guarded.
Arletto visibly grimaced at the mention of going back to Angela's shop, but he takes a deep breath and says, "Oh, I don't suppose we have much other option. Let's go."
Hey, do you think that guy's still in that cage?
I don't know. Be interesting to find out.
I wonder if we should break him out.
No, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea. And Angela seems different than the people here, and we need more allies than enemies.
That's okay. He wasn't that nice.
Oh, the wrench that would throw into the works.
I will
I
say
have
this.
her stat block. Just letting you know. I
No.
have her stat block. If y'all want to play fuck around and find out, I have her stat block.
I will say this. As we're all walking back to Angela's, Bloodworth will step inside, walk in step with Volpez for a quick second and whisper to him in a tone that is trying to be friendly. If your legs give out on you, I'll drag you along. Before continuing on.
Volpez just kind of reaches out, placing his hand on to Bloodworth's shoulder and just gives it a squeeze of acknowledgement. As he steps past you and starts walking in pace with Tempe. He Druid crafts this time a small, delicate bracelet of violets and just kind of places it on her wrist. And wordlessly takes her hand, holding it as though he needs the comfort of her presence.
Thank you. She's just gonna keep walking.
Eventually just lets
Oh.
go of her hand, falling into pace behind her. Not a single word leaving his lips.
So you guys eventually get to Angela's. Walk is a quiet one for the group with the events of the last 36 hours. Guys walk in. And what does Angela say to him?
She kind of like is busy in the back room. She looks a little frazzled as she comes out. And you see her prestidigitationing baby vomit off of her.
I know where in the timeline we are.
And she just kind of stands there. It's very good aim. What if he's going to end up becoming a ranger when he gets older? Well, his father is a rogue with a crossbow, so there is also that. Hello. Sorry. My daughter just gave birth and I am taking care of my grandchildren. Hi, Alton.
Hello, Angela. I mean, you're congrats, your grandma again. This
Again.
time I've lost track again.
Oh, no. So far, only my daughters have given me grandchildren. My sons are a whole nother matter.
Well, congrats. And twins?
Thank-
Good Lord.
Twins. I know it was. It was a very hard birth for that young man.
Young man. Okay. Okay. We're going.
Things
We're going to leave
happened.
that one.
I let Rumpel out of the cage. He has done his time. He put a curse on our daughter's bed. And so that if she ended up becoming pregnant, instead, the young man would become pregnant.
That's actually pretty funny.
I bet that was quite the experience and surprise for him.
Oh, yes, rather than 10 months of carrying the babies, it was Feywild time. 10 hours.
Good Lord, his poor body. But no,
He's recovering.
well, that's good. No, so I assume you caught all that last night. These.
Oh, yes.
I'll let them explain it.
No, I saw it all. Good grief. And I rather figured that you all would be coming here to see me this morning, so I've prepared a few crates for you all. Supplies for the first time ever, actually, on the house. A special request from a friend.
Interesting.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to grab what you need. Oh, you pardon the smell. Apparently, I need to go and change a diaper again. I'll be back. Grab what you need.
So what do y'all do?
Tenacity is going to pull Alton aside, and he's going to say, "Can I speak with you for a second?"
Well, why, of course. What's going on?
Do you have relatives, siblings, cousins?
I do, and I don't have any siblings. I was the only child, but I do have cousins.
Were you close to one of them at once?
I mean, at one point in time, I was. It's we're not as close as we used to be. Life kind of got in the way.
I was close to someone once, and something happened, and I have seen our relationship drift, and I don't know what to do. I've tried talking to them about it, but at some point I feel like a broken sending stone.
Yeah, I get that. So, I mean, on my end, it was just it was more life on my side that got in the way. Mm, lot of anger with, particularly with my mother, but my dad disappearing and what I thought was dying, and then meeting up with my adventuring party and everything we've gone through together. We kind of drifted apart. I need to send them a message, but I don't. I'm not gonna try and guess who this is that you're talking about, but just try to continue reaching out every now and then. When they when they are ready, they will they'll reply.
My fear is that they won't reply until the day that I have to protect their last rights.
That is a risk that we all have to face, especially in this situation. We can't force people to keep in contact with us. We can't force people to regain that closeness we once had. If it's bound to happen, it will happen.
When Alton says that statement, Alton will see tenacity steal a look towards Temperance unknowingly, and then realize that his body is um, betraying him in this moment, and will try and steal himself back into the conversation.
Alton catches the glance, but doesn't say anything. Because he's been there.
Okay, so I would like to ask a question. Is the supplies that she's referring to the list of items that were sent to us a month or two ago, whenever it was? 2 months ago. That I sent a reply to in the general channel.
I would assume
Yeah.
so.
Okay. I just wanted to double check that I hadn't missed something.
I'm going to say only one crate each for health potions.
DM, would you say it's fair to say only up to uncommon or rare?
I legit have not looked at the list yet.
That's fine. I mean, we can always do that off session too. I just
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
we,
to
we
just
can
kinda, like,
figure that out right now
just
because
know
it's starting to
that
get a little.
Temperance immediately started putting hers together. That's all.
yeah. Yeah, I already know a few items that I'm grabbing. I was actually reviewing my list of items that Volpes wants. Around this time, Angela will like come back into the room holding the girl of the baby twins. Just kind of like bouncing her a little. No, I'm figuring there was something else you had wanted from me.
We're trying to figure out where the hell to go now. And Alton suggested you might have some help with that.
Well, I can give you the rough direction of that library that young man mentioned.
That would be helpful.
It's over in
Great.
Silver Hill, over in Summer Court, I believe. I think you need to run, let's see here. Head south. That's it is. Head south, out of town. And then, as long as you follow the sea strand, it'll take you right to the summer forest. I think it's on the other side of the forest that Silver Hill is. They'll be able to guide you from there.
Alright. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. That at least gives us a place to throw our dart towards.
I wish you all luck.
And on that note, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Mhm.
Yay.
Thank y'all for watching. We will be back. Let me double check the calendar. Make sure I'm not goofing my dates. We will be back on the 28th, so 2 weeks from today. Have a good couple weeks, and we will see you then.
Bye bye.
Bye.